my dear Lady Marian, is the famous Nottingham Bridge. Thou mayst remember it from thy childhood. It is reputed to be the most romantic place in Stirling.
I was not so young when I left this shire to go to court that I cannot remember my life here. I know this place well.
Then thou wilt agree it is the perfect spot for us to become better acquainted before we are married.
I have not yet said that I will marry thee, only that I would consider it.
Thy father wished it, the queen hath approved it, and as Proverb says, wedding is destined.
And hanging, likewise.
I'd not expected thee to be so waspish, Marian.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting. But this bodice itches.
Those clothes become thee well, far better than thy clothes. Yet methinks thy beauty would enhance any garment, or none at all.
I know 'tis foolish vanity, but I greatly regret the loss of my fine gown, and the manner in which it was ruined.
Robin Hood shall pay dearly for that, and for his other transgressions.
When did Robert Locksley become Robin Hood? How came ye two to be such bitter enemies?
Of all people, thou must remember that Locksley was always a wild and rascally fellow.
I remember his impish humor and his generous heart.
Generosity, profligacy. After old Huntington's death, Locksley would have stripped the estate, given the land to peasants with neither the wit nor the will to be its stewards. He did not deserve the title he inherited.
So you stepped in?
I assumed control of the estate for the good of the people of the shire. When the natural order is disturbed, when peasants are given ideas above their station, unrest ensues. My job is to prevent unrest.
What of the death of the Earl of Huntington? In front of Her Majesty, Robin accused you of causing his father's death.
Huntington was old, set in his ways. When I became sheriff, I went to visit him as a courtesy. I told him that certain things were going to be different in the shire, and he became enraged and ordered me from the property. The next morning, he was dead. Poor man must have had a weak heart. Very sad. But he was old, and it was hardly my fault.
Robin obviously doesn't see it that way.
That is the second time that you have called me Robin. So you've accepted the fact that Robert Locksley is now the outlawed Robin.
Robin is a nickname. Childhood. Pride. Childish accusation for his new persona.
I assure thee that Robin Hood is not a boy. His ideas and actions pose a real threat to our life. He must and will be stopped.
And I suppose you think you're the man to stop me! Hold it!
Stop this at once!
I will if he will!
Philip! Her Majesty charged thee not to hurt this man. I'm sure thou wilt not disobey a royal command.
Very well. While these gentlemen are indisposed, now would be an excellent opportunity to recover Her Majesty's stolen property. Guard! To the greenwood. Are you coming?
I will see to my brother's wounds.
Thy half-brother should choose his companions with better care. When we are married, his actions will not reflect well on you.
If we are married.
We shall. It is, after all, in the natural order of things.
Art thou badly injured?
Only with pride. I should have had him.
Not slipping well. Too much time on horseback. Not enough time with daggers in thy hand.
Aye.
The sound of a flagon of wine for medicinal purposes.
Oh, wine and bandages, should they be needed. Just wine, thank you.
I should thank thee for intervening, but there was no need.
I didn't do it for thee.
Oh, for De Marque, then? I would not have hurt him.
Much.
I must confess I'm surprised thou come to care for him so quickly. I'd not thought thy heart to be so easily moved.
The heart is a treasure. One learns to guard it from thieves and oath breakers.
Oathbreaker again! Why didst thou slander me so in front of the Queen?
Well, didst thou not promise to right me faithfully when I went to court?
Promise I did, and right I did. till I lacked reply convinced me that my rustic missives were unwelcome to a sophisticated lady of the court.
Well, how could I reply to such non-existent missives, however rustic?
Marian, I did write. Every day for months. Then when I received no answer, every week. Finally, I accepted thy silence as indication that thou didst regret our childish vows of devotion. I decided to burden thee no further with news of the home I had so completely left behind.
Didst thou truly send me word?
I did. I swear.
Oh, Robin. Never a single word of thine did I see. I was so homesick and lonely. I thought everyone had abandoned me. Even you.
Never. Our letters must have been intercepted.
Who would have cause to do so?
Who else? De Marque. He must have decided it was unseemly for his future bride to be in correspondence with a man he deemed outlaw.
I should have known that was not forgotten me. I should have written when I had nothing.
You assumed the worst, as did I. We're friends again?
Friends. Robin, what caused that in this state? Philip made it sound as if my father's death would drive me to madness.
I suppose it did for a time. When De Marque became sheriff, he came to see my father. He told him that taxes would be doubled, and that landowners would have to do whatever it took to meet new quotas. Force their tenants to work harder, take a greater percentage of their earnings or evict them. My father took pride in being a fair and generous landlord. He knew his tenants and their families by name. He refused to comply with De Marque's tyranny and threw him out. The next day he was dead.
So De Marque said of a weak heart.
Aye. Though his heart seemed strong enough to defy the sheriff.
You think his death unnatural?
What I think means nothing, for nothing can I prove. No one but I knew the sheriff had grievance against my father. No one would believe the word of a grief-maddened son against the all-powerful Sheriff of Nottingham.
I grieve for thy loss.
Die for thine. It must have been difficult to hear of thy father's death, and now it's so far from home.
More difficult than you know. Thy letters were not the only ones which went astray. I did not know my father had died until Will, who was then squire to a minor knight, came to London for a turn.
I had expected your return before now.
I could not. Without father here, and Will off becoming a jouster, and hearing I was estranged from thee, I had no heart for it. It would not have come now, but for the Queen's insistence.
And now? Hast thou the heart to stay?
Marry Philip? I know not. If 'twas truly my father's wish...
Marian, thy father was very ill at the end. De Marque can be persuasive.
Surely thou dost not accuse Philip of harming my father as well as thine. For what motive? Thy hatred causes thee to see conspiracies where there are none.
I merely asked thee to learn more of the man Philip de Marque before agreeing to marry. Do not let the title of sheriff blind thee to his true nature.
I am the Lady Marian Fitzwalter, keeper of the lands of Stirling, and lady-in-waiting to Queen Elizabeth. I am no shit of a girl whose head will be turned by wealth, position, or flowery phrases.
Not see thee hurt.
These past years have taught me to rely on myself and myself alone. Robin, it's not that I do not believe you, but before I defy my father's dying command, I must be sure.
What wilt thou do?
Observe him. Question him.
Very well, but be wary. Philip wants thee, and thy lands will stop at nothing to get what he wants. Will!
Aye, Rob.
Accompany thy sister back to port, or wherever she bids thee, take her.
I'd not leave thee, Robin.
Remember, Will, thou art England's champion. Thy place is in preparing for the joust, not for sporting without horse.
You was proud, Will. We'll be cheering thee on, lad.
Right, then. Where would you like to go?
I think it's the maypole.
Right.
Anon, Robin.
Take care, friend. What say ye, lads? Shall we go and further harass the good sheriff?
To the green